Okay, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about how massive, global companies, we're talking the big ones, keep themselves from just spiraling into total chaos. It's this incredible world of rules and people and processes, all designed for one thing: keeping order.
So how do they do it? How do they protect billions of dollars and make sure the numbers they report are actually true? Well, it's not some magic bullet. It all comes down to this really powerful multi-layered system of defense, and that's what we're going to unpack today.
And here's our roadmap. First, we'll talk about why we even need control in the first place. Then we'll look at the building blocks, the people in charge, the actual laws on the books, and finally, how the whole system gets put to the test.
All right, first things first, we have to start with the one core concept that makes everything else work. It's called internal control, and it is absolutely the bedrock of corporate stability.
Now, don't think of this as a one-and-done thing, like you install some software and you're good. No, it's an ongoing process that's woven into the day-to-day fabric of a company. It's a living, breathing thing that involves everyone, from the mailroom to the boardroom.
And what's super interesting here is that the goal isn't perfection. It's what's called reasonable assurance. Why? Well, think about it. A system that could guarantee zero mistakes would be so ridiculously expensive and complicated, it would probably put the company out of business. So it's all about finding that sweet spot where the benefit of the control is worth the cost. It's just smart business.
So, if we're going to build this system, what does the foundation look like? Well, a strong internal control system isn't just one thing. It's actually made up of 5 key parts that all work together.
So you've got these 5 components, everything from looking at risks to monitoring how things are going. They're all important, for sure, but the source material is crystal clear on this. One of these is the foundation for all the others. If you don't get this one right, the whole house of cards comes tumbling down.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? The control environment is everything. This is what we call the tone at the top. It's the culture. It's about whether the people in charge actually walk the walk when it comes to integrity and ethics. Because if they don't, you can bet nobody else will either.
So, to really break down what tone at the top means, there's this great little mnemonic called ICHAMBO. It covers the whole shebang: integrity, competence, human resources, assignment of authority, management's philosophy, board participation, and the overall organizational structure. It's basically a checklist for healthy corporate culture.
Okay, so we've got the foundation poured. Now let's talk about the people who are actually in charge of the fortress. This is all about corporate governance. Who are the guardians of the system? At the end of the day, it's a team effort between management, the people running the show every day, and the board of directors that oversees them. But inside that board, there's a kind of special forces unit called the Audit Committee, and they have an incredibly important role to play.
And the rules for this committee are super specific. For any company listed on a major stock exchange, you've got to have at least 3 members on your audit committee. No exceptions.
And it's not just about having 3 warm bodies in the chairs. At least one of those members has to be an official financial expert, and all of them have to be financially literate. You need people who can actually read the financial statements and know what questions to ask.
But here's the absolute key to the whole thing: independence. They can't be employees of the company. They're the ones who hire, fire, and pay the external auditor. And that auditor reports directly to them, not to the CEO. This is huge. It's designed to make sure the auditors can do their job without any pressure from the people they're auditing.
Okay, so this whole system, it's not just a bunch of good ideas or, best practices. It is literally the law of the land. Let's look at 2 landmark acts that completely changed the game.
First up, let's go back to 1977 with the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, or the FCPA. It's got 2 main jobs. The first is an anti-bribery rule. Pretty straightforward. Don't bribe foreign officials. And that applies to all U.S. companies. The second part demands accurate books and strong internal controls, but that part is aimed squarely at publicly traded companies.
Then you fast forward to 2002. After some, let's just say, massive accounting scandals that absolutely rocked investor confidence, Congress passed the Sarbanes-Oxley Act, usually just called SOX. This law was a total game changer, designed to restore trust in the whole system.
And this is where things got really personal for executives. SOX introduced a new level of accountability. Under Section 302, the CEO and CFO have to personally sign off on the financials. No more "I didn't know." Their name is on the line. And Section 404 requires management to grade their own internal controls. And then, this is the kicker,
The external auditor has to audit that grade. It's all about accountability.
All right, so we've built this fortress. We've got laws, committees, controls, the whole thing. But how do we actually know if the walls are holding up? Well, that is the job of the independent external auditor.
And this is such a critical distinction to understand. Management is responsible for creating the financial statements. The auditor's job is not to create them. Their job is to give an expert opinion on them. Think of it this way. Management builds the car. The auditor is the independent inspector who tells you if it's safe to drive.
So what every single company is shooting for is what's called an unmodified opinion. Simply put, it's a clean bill of health. It means the auditor came in, kicked the tires, looked under the hood, and found no material problems, nothing big enough to mislead someone reading the report. This is the gold standard.
And then you have the polar opposite, the worst-case scenario, an adverse opinion. This is a giant flashing red light. It's the auditor basically screaming from the rooftops that the company's numbers are so messed up, they are fundamentally unreliable. You do not want one of these.
So, when you step back and look at this entire framework, the controls, the governance, the laws, it's all designed to prevent disaster and to build trust. It puts accountability right where it belongs. But it does leave us with one last really big question to think about. Is it enough? Can you really guarantee integrity with rules and audits, or will there always be a battle between the people building the walls and the people looking for a way around them?